because our audiences are changing a lot. I've been here 10 years, and they've changed incredibly. But throughout the year, springtime, we get a lot of younger people. Summer, we get a lot of families. Exactly. And then it changes September 1st.
Exactly.
Then it's buses.
That's like our Down Home Country show only runs in the spring and the fall because the younger demographic in the summer they will not see it. They just won't buy a ticket for it. So
no, oh well, maybe they'll start. You never know. But it's just different taste, and it's good that you guys evolve. So many people just want to stick with that same formula.
Yeah,
and I think it's a huge mistake.
Yeah, you need to try to find what the fish are biting today.
Yeah.
And
so have you thought about? Well, you don't get an off season, really.
We don't.
You get like a week.
Yeah.
So it's different than other people I talk to that get several months off. So I was going to say, do you ever think of going out and trying to do ships or?
I would like to do that.
Yeah.
At some point, maybe when I'm old, but they can wheel me on.
So beyond like 3 years from now.
Right. Oh, God. Is the lighting that bad in here?
It's the lighting.
No, I would. I've thought of it, but I'm so comfortable here, and it's just odd, I guess, because it's my hometown, and
it's what you do.
I've been successful, and I've been very blessed. I've worked for 33 years. I've had a job doing this for 33 years, which is probably extraordinary.
That is.
In your hometown.
Right. So, and you get to go home every night, and that's what everybody always says. So I get to go home, not being on the road, not staying in hotels, and I was constantly in La Quinta hotels. Did you know Spanish for behind Denny's?
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did know. Did not know that.
It's across from Applebee's.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's nice to break it up and get to travel a little bit. But and you probably have a lot of freedom in your show. Do you have a lot of input as to what goes in the show?
We do.
Or do they just come to you and tell you what to do?
Mike's the producer, Mike Patrick, and
he's great.
But we all it's a group effort.
It's a group effort.
Yeah, he guides it all, and he's got a pretty good vision of what he wants, and so everybody will throw out. And then we all working with him so long, we know kind of what he wants too.
Right.
And for this spot, it's like, well, what about this song? And he'll go, yeah, I like that song, or no, I've never liked that song.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Taylor Swift.
Exactly. Slim Whitman medley, I don't think so. Not this year. But
Eminem, yeah, we can do that.
But Mike's the straight man for me in the comedy, so we work pretty tightly on that. And honestly, we try to just script out something. When we're doing a new bit, okay, let's do this joke here, and then that'll lead us to this joke, because he's done comedy too in the past on his own, so we both have a little different take on. And we both have a little library of jokes in our head that are a little different.
You're like, so I saw this one on the Showboat last week.
Right.
So let's do it this way.
Hey, Christopher's doing this one, and he messed it up. I think if we change this, we can make it work where he couldn't. No. But then, so we start with something, and it's amazing how, like you say, the audiences here are different. That what you wrote down is like, well, that's not working. But then you ad-lib something in the middle of that bit, and then all of a sudden, about 5 days into it, you've ad-libbed a whole new routine that works.
Yeah.
And the stuff you wrote down is threw in the trash. So.
Yeah. And you get people up on stage, right?
We do.
And some of my best lines have come from those people on stage.
You can hardly ever go wrong with getting people on the stage.
Well.
You can, but chances are there's comedy gold in there if you just dig a little bit.
Yeah, if they're really quiet and shy, it's funny. If they're outrageous, most of the time it's funny.
Yeah.
But is there a type of audience member that you do you pick them yourself, or
yes.
somebody else? Is there somebody that you just avoid, like a persona? Because I have a couple that just scare me.
I try to. Luckily, the bit this year where I get a lady up out of the audience is about 20 minutes into the show, so I have a chance to kind of, as I'm doing the other routines and stuff, kind of scan and see, because I don't have much time, so I usually have to pick someone on the front row or second.
So it's always wild
pretty
bunch.
Close, yeah. Well, Friday nights I have to go to the balcony, and we don't even have a balcony,
which is strange.
Yeah,
drive into the next theater.
I go to Presley's and get one of their audience members, but you can kind of tell, especially if you've done it a long time. Now, Silver Dollar City trained me for this very well, because in all the shows out there, you're constantly dealing with people, dragging them up on stage. So you develop a skill. It's like, oh, okay, no, they're not going to.
You're right.
You can just kind of watch their reactions to stuff. and tell.
Yeah.
You can sum them up pretty quick.
Yeah, I try to avoid people that are too enthusiastic because to me, they have an agenda. They want to get up there and they want to be funny and stuff. And there's been a few times where I mute my mic and lean over and say, let me make you funny. I'll help you. Let me do this, because maybe it's inappropriate. Some of the stuff that they say, and they don't realize it's inappropriate sometimes.
Right.
But
I just I can't tell you what I whisper in their ear when that happens.
You can't.
But they usually walk off the stage.
Crying.
Yes.
Crying. No, but I do it in a nice way. I say, just go along for the ride. It'll work. Trust me. I do this. So, because sometimes the humor is a little out there. Like they, they just want to be goofy or something like that. So I avoid people that are over enthusiastic, people that I have a restraining order against me. So that eliminates about a third.
Sometimes if they're in leg irons, I don't pick them.
Sometimes.
I pick them. Yeah.
Sometimes. And sometimes people that are just out of it, you can tell, that they're out of it and they don't know what's going on around them and they've lost their big illusion show. And so they don't, you shouldn't get that up on stage.
I wouldn't know who that is.
It's a running gag. No, but if you get the right audience member, they make the show, and then they write. They help you write jokes and stuff. Yeah. Or I've had people come up and say, "Oh, I thought you were going to say this line," and that, and then that goes in the show. So after a while,
and they're all doing, and it's some of the funniest things that I've ever been involved with on stage have been with audience members.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I was in the Comedy Jamboree the first 4 years of that show at Grand Country. And I did a bit where I got three men, because I would hit them on the head and stuff, so you don't want to be hitting women on the head. Not around here.
No.
But, so the first, actually probably 2/3 of it was just talking to them.
Yeah.
One at a time, where are you from, all the
stuff,
that
becomes funny.
And there's at least one joke in all of that, and sometimes many more. But, so I get down to the last guy, and if they had a little hat on, like the ball caps or whatever, with a little button in the top, I'd have them take their hats off, because I was using like Nerf mallets, but sometimes that little button could hurt. I had a couple people complain because it hit their head, so I was like, take your hat off, because that could hurt. And I talked to him. That's what it was. I'm forgetting my own story here.
Is it your story, or did you hear this at another show? But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, at that other show that rhymes with
Nold Balbers?
Yes, that was, no. He'd said something about his teeth, just gotten his new teeth, or we'd made some stick about his teeth or whatever. I don't even remember what it was now, but we got quite a few laughs about that. And then we got down to actually doing the little song and me beating him on the heads. And I said, you can hold your hat. I said, you can put your teeth in your hat if you need to. And he just like on cue spit his teeth into his hat. And the show was over at that point.
Yeah.
I had to stop and go eat a sandwich while the people laughed, because they laughed.
Because you just wanted to show off that you had teeth.
Yeah. But it was like, you did it, buddy. You put the icing on this cake.
That's what some of the funniest things that they say, and people come out and say, "Oh, you were hilarious," and I'm thinking, "Thank you very much. I didn't do anything."
Yeah.
I always do the same thing. What do you do for a living? And I had a guy, because I always say, "What do you do for a living? What's the worst thing about your job?" Like things like that. And when guys said he worked for farms and did artificial insemination. Oh. And I said, "What is the worst part of your job?" My wife complains that I bring my work home with me.
He was ready for that one, wasn't he?
No, it took him a minute, and I lost it. I just totally with it.
That's great.
I didn't even know what to do, so it was pretty good.
That doesn't happen often enough, but it does happen.
No, but with your experience, 33 years, like we know how to guide them,
right,
to get down that path.
And so, sometimes there's nothing there. Have you ever?
Oh yeah,
you
but then it's
driving?
Funny to me. Yeah, like it's funny. It's funnier to me. Like, as long as two people think something's funny, then it stays in the show. That's what I say, because it'll be funny when I go down this long thing. And they, especially with magic, I'll do this elaborate setup, and then we get down to it, and it just, they don't do what they're supposed to. And I'm like, ta-da!
And I'm thinking in my mind, okay, I'll go down this road, and then I'm going to go back home, because I can't find their house. I don't know where they're at.
There's nothing here. Well, I want to thank you for coming on and talking about getting to Branson and about your show and all that. Go see them at the Grand Country Show. Is at what theater?
Grand Country Music Hall.
Oh, there you go. Mm-hmm. And but go see the show, and there's a website, and there's
grandcountry.com.
Mm-hmm, and there's the TV show, and there's the radio show, and I had no idea it was that big of a deal.
Yeah, we keep busy with a lot of things. And
the radio show's popular.
Yes, it is. With Branson Country USA, we're adding TV stations now.
Yeah?
So that's getting pretty exciting.
I had a great time on that, but it was very scary for me.
Really?
I was petrified.
Oh,
I don't know if you could
were
tell.
Great. No, you
were
great.
Well, thanks. Because I tried to do it all last year. I don't think I told you. I tried to do it all last year, and with my schedule, we get done 11 o'clock. There was no way. And so Mike invited me on for this year. Mm-hmm. And so I was on a cruise ship, and we agreed on a date. And then a few weeks before, Chris got a hold of me. Well, yeah, produces the show, I guess. Mm-hmm. But he got in touch with me and said, when do you want to do a rehearsal with the band? And I said, the band? What am I going to do with the band? Don't you do music? And I'm like, no. Well, it's a radio. Yeah, well, it's a radio show or whatever. I'm like, I didn't. I thought it was an interview. Like, I thought I was going on like this and do an interview. Oh, okay. All right. I said, talk to Chris. I thought this was or talk to Mike.
Yeah.
And so then I got to the theater, and he said, what is your last bit that you're going to do? And I said, bit? I'm doing bits? I thought this was an interview.
Just a misunderstanding.
Yeah, and so he's like, I'm sure it'll be fine, whatever. And so I was on the phone literally as you guys were getting ready for me, telling my wife, I have no idea what I'm going to do.
Oh, no.
Like, I didn't bring anything.
You seem so calm and collected to
She's
me.
like, just go out and do what you do when you lose your props. So I went out and talked with your Wild Bunch. And
you were great.
Just improv'd it. Like for 8 minutes, and I was scared to death.
They loved you, yeah.
I came off and I told my wife, I said, I think it was okay.
Oh yeah, no, it was very okay.
But it's a great show. It's fun. You guys make everybody comfortable to be. Everyone was so nice backstage and stuff with the drinks and the back rubs.
Oh yeah,
and, all
the candles and the
candles.
That
and
air supply CD.
Bubble bath was a little much, but but everyone was so nice at the show, and all your guests were so nice, or all your audience members were so nice, and they have been incredibly nice, and you have a great following, and you must have a really high quality show because they really love you guys.
Well, we try.
You do. So go to grandcountry.com. Right? Is that right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And see the show, get tickets, buy a season pass. How about that?
Mm-hmm. You could be a part of the Wild Bunch. It can happen to you.